And welcome, everybody. It's so good to have you here. If you're online, welcome. It's good to know that you're here tonight. We always start off with a few announcements. I think most everybody's a regular, but there's at least one person we haven't seen. So if you need to use the restroom, it's in the foyer. And there's a closed door. It says, please keep this door closed. That's up to you. But if you do leave it open, make sure it snaps so any wind won't do that. There's a lock in there if on the doorknob. If you use that one and you forget to take it off when you leave, it'll lock behind you. And we'll have to punch the code in. There's also a slide lock. That's Zuzu. This is our Dharma animal who's always here. And that's Trin. Nice to have you here tonight. The other thing I always like to talk about is it's been such a gift and blessing to be here. And the Bodhi Tree has been wonderful to us in that we haven't been charged to be here. And right now, Amy and I do not accept dana ourselves, generosity. But there is a box out there, and if you find your time here at the Bodhi Tree valuable and would like to keep all of this going, I know they can always use the help. So there's a glass box on the shelf out there. And there's no need to do it if it's not coming from your heart. But if you do feel appropriate, please do. And I had texted a message to Trin. There is a cleanup, providing it's not, I asked, was it going on rain or shine? And right now, on the 11th, at 11 a.m., there is a community cleanup scheduled, and I'm told there will be snacks. So this is a good thing. Let me bring Amy back on now that she's here, if I can. Hi, Amy.
Hi there. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, and the crackle seems to be gone.
Cool.
Well, there's a little.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, we have a full house tonight, pretty much. It's good to be here. Anything to say before we get going and moving? You've been out sick. It's great to have you back.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, happy to be back. I'm glad you guys braved the storm to be here. So happy to sit with you and share some Dharma.
All right, well, we've made some announcements. I think we're about ready to get up and do a little movement. Someone else coming in. Right on. But he knows all the announcements, so we don't need to worry about that, except for the community cleanup this weekend, Saturday at 11. We're gonna scrub down the entire building with toothbrushes. You get the grout in the back. All right, so now's the time we like to get up and do a little movement now that everybody's settled down and sat. Now we ask you to get up, so we're going to do that. Oh, let me make sure I've got the right microphones on. I do, I think. All right. So one of the first rules of this is if you're tall, don't get your hands caught in the fans. The other one is if at any time I ask you to do something or suggest you do something and it's uncomfortable or causes pain, don't do it. This is not exercise. We're simply trying to get our blood moving. It really helps us when we sit and can be a little more focused simply because we've had a chance to move our body and get rid of some of that energy that's present when we get off of work. We've been hitting the keyboard all day. I've been doing that myself, right? Or whatever it is we've been doing. So we'll start simply by standing with maybe our feet hip width apart, our knees a little springy. Come on, Zeus. Stand, legs shoulder width apart. Just allow ourselves to settle. If you want to roll your shoulders a little, move around just to let things loosen. Go ahead. And then just sort of stand hanging. Let your shoulders droop. Your belly can drop. I don't often close my eyes for balance reasons, but half-lidded and maybe looking at a point 10 feet in front of you, just so we keep spatial awareness. Take a nice few deep breaths all the way in down to our diaphragm. We might almost feel like we're leaning just a little more weight on the balls of our feet than our heels. I always like to start with just a little movement back and forth. So we push off with one foot and push off with the other foot. We're really just using our legs to do this. We're not moving. We're not standing here moving our shoulders. We're just sort of falling to the side, pushing off, falling to the side, pushing off. And add a little twist to it. And we're using our legs to do the twist. And as we do, our arms will start moving. Can add a little more energy, and our arms will start moving a bit more. Can even feel ourselves tapping our back and our side. Even a little more energy, and our arms will come up. We can tap our shoulders, small of our back. If you're really energetic, you can go all the way over your shoulder. Just feeling that nice motion. Again, only doing what we can do. If you've got back problems, don't twist it. And slow down. And as we do, our arms will naturally slow down on their own. And just come again to a stop. Same position. Just noticing any tingling feeling. My teachers at retreat always say that's the chi moving around. All right. So we can put our hands together here. And we're going to take a nice deep breath in while we move our arms up to about our chest level. And then exhale up and over our head, up on our toes if we have the balance. Exhale and down. Take another deep breath in. And as we exhale, lean to our right. Breath cycle, inhale. And as we exhale, all the way to the left. Inhale. And as we exhale, straight up. Inhale. And then exhale, allowing our arms to come down. And we can do that again. In and out and up. time. Just roll our shoulders and get out any tightness from all of that. And shake a little. Shake all over. Get our whole body shaking. And one last one. Get rid of any excess energy we have. This is always my favorite. We get to scare Zuzu. Maybe, maybe not. Has everybody had a cat or been around cats at some point in their life? I said cat, came looking. Put your hands up as claws. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. Then we're going to scratch the post as we drop with our knees, letting the breath out, making a horrible screeching sound, kind of like this. Let your arms drop. And then come up slowly. Right, Zuzu? One more time. Scratch. Once more, but stay down when we get there. And just hang. Just allow ourselves to hang. Our head loose. Our arms loose. And when we breathe into our back. Almost we're like that cat arching its back. And as we exhale, we can let it settle again. Just maybe 3 breaths. When we've done that, we come back up, but use our legs. We don't want to use our back muscles to pull us up. Just use our legs kind of to push us up very gently. And stand for a moment or two. We can feel tingling. That's the chi moving around. When you're comfortable, mindfully make your way back to a seat and a seated position. Nice to have you all here. Let's just start by looking around and seeing who's here tonight. Maybe smiling and acknowledging each other. After we've been scary cats and scared Zuzu, you know, we're all mammals. And mammals can be a little twitchy sometimes when they're in a new thing or they're not familiar with everybody. So it's good just to relax into this and realize everybody's here for similar, if not identical reasons. We're all safe. We're all welcome. So I was asked this morning, because I lead a meditation earlier in the morning, is there any way to get rid of anxiety? And I'm afraid I don't have an answer for getting rid of it. But this meditation is going to be an exploration of our mood and where we might hold that in our body, and then gently breathing into where that is and allowing it to soften. So, settle into a comfortable meditation posture. We don't need to be super alert for this one. I always like to start with a few deep breaths in, holding gently, and exhaling a little more slowly than I took the breath in. It's not really part of the meditation so much as physical relaxation. Just allowing ourselves to stop whatever's gone on. It's the middle of the week, maybe the busiest time for us. We just need to stop, settle in, become aware of being held by the earth, the sensation of being grounded through our sits bones, our feet, our ankles, whatever's in contact with the ground or the chair. Letting our bodies settle gently. Allowing our consciousness, our awareness to settle into our body, just as we're allowing our body to settle into the cushion or chair. There's nowhere to go. There's really nothing to do. There's nothing to fix. And we don't have to put on a mask or pretend to be somebody. We're just here. If we are distracted at any time, just return to the sensation of sitting or the sounds around us, even our own breathing if that's comfortable for you. And now let's spend a moment checking our internal weather. How did we arrive? What mood are we in? What emotions might we be feeling? This can change from moment to moment. But it might be we've come with a worry, a concern. Might be that we've come looking forward to something pleasurable. Happy, sad. And what sticks out to us? This might be something wonderful. It might not be. Let's just become aware of it. Just noting that it's present. We needn't chase it off. We needn't grasp after it. this is just how it is right now. And let's explore our body to see if we're holding this. If it is something stressful, we might be holding it in our jaw, clenched, or shoulders tight, or belly stiff. If it's something wonderful, we might be aware of it in our heart space, a sense of ease in our body. Just allowing ourselves to be aware of this connection between mood and body. And as we investigate, we might note that it changes from moment to moment. We're not trying to get wrapped up in exploring why we have this mood, what the cause of it is, how long it's been present. Simply that it's present, that it might change moment to moment, and that I might be able to feel it in my body. If I am holding tension, I loosen around it. I breathe to that spot. Let it soften. If it's a lovely feeling, I do the same. Allow it to soften and perhaps spread. Just allowing myself to relax around this and investigate as I let it soften. Does that have an effect on my mood? widening our curiosity. We might take in our whole body again. And investigate whether softening around whatever was holding a feeling or mood has affected the whole body. Widening our awareness to the space around us. Simply allowing all the sensations, the breeze, warmth, cool, sounds of the birds, those to be present. A sense of being grounded and held, connection with the earth. might inquire now, having explored this connection, do I feel different than when I started tonight? Am I grounded? Have I softened? We may have, perhaps not. Both are fine. If it's comfortable for you, put your hand over your heart and feel the warmth and touch. We might offer our body thanks and metta, loving kindness. It does so much for us and holds so many of our emotions. Thank you, body. May you be at ease. May you be well. May you be healthy and strong. Shortly, I'll invite the bell to ring. We needn't hurry back. Just allow the sound to be present, to join our meditation, and to carry those thoughts of metta to all in the room. Thank you. We'll now take about a 7-minute break, hopefully in silence. The restrooms in the foyer. There's a water cooler with some cups there. It's not raining, so the lanai is out there, and you've got a lovely view of Honolulu. And I was thinking about that connection between our emotions and our body, and animals like Zuzu that have been around us for tens of thousands of years are very adept at reading it. We often think they're reading our minds, but I think they're reading what we're holding in our body. We'll be back in a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Now it's that time of the evening where we welcome Amy back after 3 weeks. I'm so glad to have you here.
You hear me okay?
Yes.
Awesome. Oh, okay. I miss a lot of you in this room, but Zuzu, I mean, look at that belly. I'm pausing to consider if I want to start us with a sit or a talk. I think I'll start with the talk. I had a challenging time preparing tonight because of the state of the world. I think I wanted to come in here tonight and have, can you hear me okay? You guys hear me okay? Yeah, okay, cool. I wanted to come in here and have, I don't know, something to say to meet what's going through all of your minds and bodies and hearts tonight. And the Dharma's done that for me in times of crisis, times of grief, confusion. And it seems in our world today, we're constantly in cycles of those things. Maybe in our world always, depending on our level of privilege, depending on the stage in our lives. And so naturally, I came up with 10 different ideas in 10 different directions, as my neurodivergent brain does, all with this heartful wish to bring the Dharma that supported me so much out of me, to allow it to come out of me, to flow out of me in ways that matter, in ways that meet this moment, this time on earth, for what it's like to be human. And there really isn't a way exactly to honor it, the suffering of the world, other than what we're doing here today, I think. Showing up, inclining the mind towards something meaningful, towards something that feels wise. I think that's why you're all seated here. There's something about meditation, the beautiful Bodhi Tree location. There's something about the Dharma or mindfulness, the science of mindfulness that's brought you all here. Refuge, maybe. Maybe there's just moments as you sit or listen where there's some stillness that feels like safety, feels like goodness. Matthew Brensilver, one of my favorite Dharma teachers, talks about how this practice is inclining ourselves toward goodness. I think we all need a little more of that. I'm very lucky, very privileged as a a therapist, a counselor, school counselor here in Alaska. I get to work with kids that are trying to be better, get to work with adults in my private practice that are trying to be better. I get to practice with sanghas constantly every day. The sangha and hear a Dharma teacher, and that creates a level of safety inside of me. I get to be around humans that feel safe and good, that are trying to be better humans. Sometimes I'm lucky enough to be around dogs like Zuzu and also feel that safety and goodness. So I think going back to the basics a little bit of what is what is it that we're doing here and why? And as for the why, I was looking at the research. Um, there was a new study that came out in 2026 that found significant neurophysiological effects begin almost immediately within 2 to 3 minutes of starting to meditate. 2 to 3 minutes, they're noticing neurophysiological effects beginning. Meditation produces significant neurophysiological changes much faster than previously understood, with brainwave shifts indicating reduced stress and increased focus beginning in just 2 to 3 minutes and peaking around 7 minutes. Even beginners can experience rapid, measurable improvements in mood and stress and resilience. And with advanced practitioners, they show brain signature changes in as little as 30 seconds. A little 30 seconds. As soon as I read that article earlier this week, I started pausing as soon as I sat. I was like, wow, is that possible? The first 30 seconds? The first 30 seconds, there's something, some sort of goodness that begins, that shows in our brain already. Like that's wild to me. Um, so I dove a little deeper too, geeking out on the science behind it. And so looking at other studies, neuroscientists like Tong and Posner have used advanced brain imaging to show that even within a few weeks of mindfulness, it can strengthen the white matter, the neural wiring that connects different parts of our brain. Their research at places like the University of Oregon suggests this practice actually builds better insulation in the myelin around our nerves, helping us stay more emotionally balanced. So this white matter in our brain helps it run better, helps it work better, helps it connect and integrate. Um, and there's certain areas like the anterior cingulate cortex and the surrounding areas that help with emotion regulation and self-control. Yeah, it strengthens neural tracts and reduces age-related decline. And so there's all these studies. They look at the brain and they're seeing a correlation in the areas of the brain that improve mood and stress regulation, that strengthen the connection between the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala, which helps reduce rumination and emotional reactivity. So the brain science is there, and they're saying within a few weeks, and they're saying within a few seconds, depending on, how much you've practiced, right? And even within a few minutes, if you're a newbie, within 7 minutes it peaks, within 2 to 3 minutes, it's starting to do something. I'm hoping this hearing this encourages you all that what you're on the path is like doing something to your brain that supports it. Then I was also looking at, since we're having so much conflict in our world, the impacts of mindfulness on healthier relationships. So researchers like Barnes and colleagues found that people who are more mindful tend to be less emotionally reactive during conflict and more satisfied in their relationships. Research by Walks and Cordova suggests that mindfulness increases empathy and emotional awareness between partners, helping people listen more deeply and respond with more care. So maybe we're here because we feel it in the body. We feel the goodness of this. Maybe we're here because the research shows that it makes a difference. I've studied the brain. The practice itself often encourages two different things. It encourages us to come into the moment, relaxing into the moment, and focus on a singular thing in that moment, typically. Or it has us relaxing into noticing a lot of different things that are coming in, the transient nature of things. But oftentimes we start with just a singular thing to stay in, because that way our brain can kind of connect and collect itself. So we're changing our perspective when we sit. We're like, okay, brain, we're going to sit now. Or hopefully we're like, okay, brain, we're going to relax now. Because if we relax a little bit, it's a little bit easier or a lot easier for us to come to attention. So there's that second part is like resourcing. So there's focus, the focus of what we're doing. And then how do we support that focus? And for me, that's resourcing. That's when we start to do metta. That's why we do kindness. If we're just focusing without that resourcing there, then what we're doing usually is kind of harmful and painful. Like if you sit there and try to meditate like a soldier, just like sitting there, or like you're part of a factory and you're just like just doing this. It's not a fun time. I don't know if anybody in that room, any of you in the room tried that, to try to like meditate and just like stay on it like strictly. Been tough on yourself. At least one is admitting it. Maybe a few others. Maybe the rest of you just come in it lightly. And that doesn't, that's tricky. It doesn't usually work. So we have to resource, and the resourcing is all the Brahma Viharas. It's equanimity, it's compassion, it's loving kindness, it's mudita, it's kindness for others, happiness for others. And I think I'm just encouraging and offering in our world today that we know when it's time to focus our perspective in a new place. And sometimes we do have to problem solve. Sometimes we have to keep ourselves safe. Sometimes we have to just keep going and adulting.
Amy, we've lost your audio for a second. We'll need you to repeat the last phrase or so. It's probably not you.
Okay. Does it help if I lean forward? It doesn't matter.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear me? Can you hear me now? I guess not. Testing.
I don't know. Go ahead and say something. Let's see if we can hear you.
Testing. Testing, testing.
No.
Nope. It's not on my end, I don't think. Let's see.
That's very strange. I don't know what went wrong. We haven't had issues for months. Let me see if I can. Can you hear me?
Yes.
That's weird.
I can hear you all.
You'd think you wouldn't be able to hear me either. The audio should be going there. I don't know.
I don't know.
You want to leave the meeting and come back?
Okay.
I do not know what went wrong. All of a sudden she went quiet and I know we hadn't started meditation yet. Are you there? No audio.
Hello? Hello? Hello, hello, hello?
Let me see if the sound effects work. Can't hear it.
No.
Something with the speaker.
That's what
Let me change to the television speaker, Amy.
Testing, testing. Testing.
Okay, can we?
Now here.
Testing.
Yep. Okay, we've got you on the television speaker. The room speaker went out. That's what happened.
Okay. I think to sum up what I'm trying to encourage for myself and maybe for all of you is practice. Is remembering to come back to the here and now as much as possible with ease and care. I think we need a lot of that now, and that will resource how we decide things in life, how we do the hard things in daily life and meet this world. And it also allow for more moments of love and joy and all the other things that are also possible, even in the midst of all this insanity. Let's go ahead and sit so we can maybe feel this as opposed to just intellectualize it. So if you need to do any motion or movement to help yourself get settled. And whatever guidance I offer today is just an offering. Meaning, if there's a practice that's calling to you, please honor that. And just let my words float around in the background. Checking in with what's true for you here and now. Is the body tired? Is the mind? Is there patience or impatience? What's present? Just noting it. What's true for you here and now with the mind and the body and the environment around you. Let's go ahead and focus on softening the body now. Softening any of the places, or inviting softening for any of the places inside that feel a little tricky. And if softening is not available, is it available to send care to that area? To honor that it's not doing too well right now. May this body soften and relax into this moment. If there's any intrusive thoughts popping up, or busy thoughts, maybe just validating them to understand why they're there, and seeing if they'll give you a little space, letting them float away like on a cloud or a leaf on a river. Now shift attention to the heart. And you're feeling the area around the chest, the rise and the fall as we inhale and exhale. Maybe noticing what the material of your clothing feels like. Or the feel of the fan, the air coming across the chest area. Maybe even the heartbeat. As you feel into this area, inviting into the mind something that's easy to love. Something that brings about a smile or a feeling of care. Could be an animal, could be a friend, a child, a tree, an auntie, a spirit of goodness like something like Kuan Yin. Could even be an old stuffed animal. Is it available to feel into this? Whatever makes the heart soften. It could be the feeling of safety that you feel under a banyan tree or along the edge of the beach of Kahala, watching the moon rise. Or curled up on your couch with a soft blanket. Feeling into the chest area and allowing the mind to feel into whatever allows it to feel, whatever allows that felt sense of goodness, of warmth. And if you can feel that goodness inside, allowing it to spread, imagining that goodness spreading to those that you love, maybe those that you're worried about. You can imagine it as a light or a wind. imagining it spreading out in all directions. Imagine that goodness making the world a little bit better place in your life and in the lives of those you touch and the lives of those you'll never meet. There's goodness inside us. Can we learn to feel it? The Buddha said that there was wholesome joys worth paying attention to, worth feeling. There was goodness and joy, resourcing to help us be stronger in life, to meet moments. And if none of this is available to you, maybe just sending yourself deep compassion, or just staying with the breath. And stay silent for the remainder of the sit and allow you to do whatever calls to you to help support this feeling of care inside. I have a quote from Maimonides. Men frequently think that the evils in the world are more numerous than the good things. Many sayings and songs of the nations dwell on this idea. Not only common people make this mistake, but even many who think they are wise. May all beings everywhere, including ourselves, be safe. May they really be safe. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they be free. And may they be supported by their goodness and their wisdom. And may they be supported by others' goodness and wisdom. And may that spread to all beings everywhere. Bring
Thanks, Amy. Sorry we lost you there. For those of you joining us on YouTube, I'm going to turn the stream off now so we can chat with the sound.
Thank you.